So welcome back to 30 days streak challenge, and it's a day 5 of our challenge. So let's visit a problem of the day and see what's the problem today. Form a palindrome. It's a medium level problem. Okay, given a string, find the minimum number of characters to be inserted to convert it to a palindrome. So expected time complexity is big O of n square and auxiliary space is big O of n square. So by seeing the time complexity, I can say definitely it's a DP problem. We have to use dynamic programming here. So basically they will be giving us a string and we have to find that minimum number of characters to be inserted to convert it into a palindrome. So guys, just let me walk you through the problem, how we are gonna solve this. So basically they have given us a string. Okay, let's say abcd is a string. Now what is a possibility to make it is as a string? So there are two possibilities. I can add this a either in the end, or else I can add this d in the beginning. So if I add this d in the beginning, then it will be d a b c d. So dd will be matching and will be just moving the pointers. And if I add this a in the end, a will be matching and will be just moving back and will compare the next alphabets, right? So we are going to use that technique to find the minimum number of characters required, right? So as I said, there are two possibilities for a given situation. Let's say palindrome. What is the meaning of palindrome? Actually, palindrome means if we try to read the alphabets from the beginning, they will be in the same order from the end. Like here, for this example abcd, to make it as a palindrome, the alphabet should be arranged as d c b a b c d. So d d in the start and end, c c in the start and end, b b in the start in the start and end, and a here. So basically if you read this word from beginning and from the end, it will sound similar, right? So if you try to read it from the beginning or end, it will sound similar. And for example, mum, mum. So if you read it from the beginning mum, it will be like mum, and if you read it from the end, it will sound the same like mum. Okay, so we are gonna use some technique here, that is DP, dynamic programming, to solve this problem. As I have said, there are two possibilities. So in DP, what we actually do, we use recursion, where we actually explore all the possibilities to solve the problem. So let me just walk you through the problem and explain you the technique which I am talking about. So let's say here actually we'll be using what we'll do, we'll keep a I pointer in the beginning at A, and we'll keep a J pointer in the end, that is D. Okay, I pointer in the beginning and a J pointer in the end. Now you can see that A and D are not matching. To like if they are palindrome, they will be matched, right? You can see here D, let's say I pointer is pointing D and J pointer is pointing the D of the end. So both are matching, right? So we can move forward. So I pointer will be incremented and J pointer will be decremented. So now CC again matching. So I pointer will be incremented and J pointer will be decremented. Now they will be pointing B and B. So both are equal. So both are equal. So they are matching. So we'll just increment I pointer and we'll decrement J pointer. So now again I pointer here, J pointer here, A again matching. I pointer will be incremented, J pointer will be decremented. Now they are actually crossing each other. Whenever the pointers are crossing each other, it means we have explored the complete string. Now we can return that it is a palindrome, right? So basically if I take here I pointer and J pointer in the end, now A is not equal to D. So what will happen in this scenario? The scenario is like we can add A in the end, or else we can add this D in the beginning. So there are two scenarios. So what we'll do, we'll add A in the end and check whether and check for the string that how many possibilities are there, and we'll add the D in the beginning and check for this string, that is D A B C D, and check whether how many possibilities will come from this possibility, like by adding the D in the front and by adding the A in the end. So there are two possibilities, and for these two after adding the characters in the end and in the beginning, we'll check for the both the possibilities, that there are how many possibilities to get to make it as a palindrome, right? So basically here we are using I and J pointers. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to write a function static int function fun, and in this function I'm going to play with the two variables, that is int I and int j, because these are the two variables which I'm pointing to for these characters, right? Along with this I require definitely a string str, and along with this, as you can see, we are using two variables. Two variables means definitely dp, that is 2d dp, right? Dynamic programming. So yeah, now what I said, there are two possibilities, right? Int possibility 1, let's say possibility 1, possibility 1, and in this possibility what I'm going to do, let me show you the example here. A B C D, right? So A will be pointing, I will be pointing to A, J will be pointing to D, right? In first possibility, I'm going to add a in the end. Now assume that A is added in the end. What does it mean if A is added in the end? Our A pointer and A pointer are matching. Now we have to move towards the next characters. So now I will be pointing to B and J will be pointing to D as usual, right? So let's say A is there here and I have added a in the end. So I pointer will be pointing A and J pointer will be pointing that A, and both are equal, they will be moving forward. Now A will be pointed to B and J will be pointing to D. Now for this given scenario, let's say I'm adding alphabet A here in the end. So after adding, where my I pointer and J pointer will be pointing, my I pointer will be pointing to B and J pointer will be pointing to D as usual. So initially it was pointing to D and now also it will point to D. So for that reason I'm just going to increment I pointer and I'm not going to increment J pointer, because if I add a in the end, so only a are equal. So because of that, I pointer will be incremented to B and J pointer as usual will be pointing to D. So I'm just going to pass this str and along with this dp. Right, now what is the possibility 2? So second possibility is, if the characters are not equal, second possibility is I can add this d in the beginning of this string. So if I add this d in the beginning of the string, D will be matched and the pointers will be decremented. So next alphabet is A and the next alphabet is C. So J will be decremented. Now let us assume that I'm going to just add a D in the beginning of this string. So where our next pointers will be pointing I and J, I pointer will be pointing to A and J pointer will be if I add the D in the beginning, so my J pointer will be pointing to C and my I pointer will be pointing to A as usual, right? So what does it mean? Only a D pointer should be decremented. So I will be as usual, J pointer should be decremented. J minus 1 str and dp as usual, right? So now we are exploring two possibilities by adding a in the end and by adding the d in the beginning. Actually we are not adding the alphabets there, we are not making any changes to string, just we are assuming if a is added, then our pointer will be incremented and decremented. If d is added in the beginning, or just I pointer and J pointer will be decremented, right? Using that we are exploring the possibilities. So possibility 1 and possibility 2. After getting possibility 1 and possibility 2, what we are going to do, like possibility 1 will return some minimum number of operations, possibility 2 will return some minimum number of operations required to convert it into a palindrome, but we need the minimum of this possibility 1 and possibility 2. So simply math dot minimum, from this we'll get possibility 1, possibility 2 will be there, and the minimum of this will be taken, and along with this actually we are adding a character, right? Let's say possibility 1 or let's say possibility 2. In both these possibilities we are actually adding a character. It means from this function call, actually we have to add a character and we have to return, like we have to return a value, right? Integer value, right? So here actually I'm adding a in the end, or actually I am adding or I'm assuming I'm adding a character in the beginning, that is d. So we are doing something stuff here. So if we consider possibility 1 or 2, we are actually adding a character. So because of that I'm going to add 1 to this function call and I'm going to return. So one thing, as we are returning 1 plus, 1 plus minimum of both possibilities. It means one for this function call, whatever it is called, fun. So one for that, and minimum of possibility 1 and possibility 2. Along with this, one thing is important, that we are using dp. So as we have done this function call, so we have to store it in our dp. So dp of I and j equals to 1 plus mat dot minimum possibility 1 possibility 2. Fine. Now along with that, just our question has not finished yet, because we have just seen a scenario where our characters are not equal. Here a is not equal to t, but what if starting character is equals to last character, that is here you can see aa. In that scenario, we'll write for that stuff, if our str dot char at I is equal to actually str dot char at j. If both are equal, in that scenario, what we have to do, we have to do a function call like this. Function call I plus 1, I plus 1. So we are incrementing I pointer as well as j minus 1. We are decrementing the j pointer as well. So str and dp, right? And here we don't need to add anything, because we are not adding any character. As the characters are same, we don't need to like add 1 plus to it, because we are not adding any new character here, because the characters are already same. So we are not adding any new characters. So 0 plus function call, so no need to add 0 also. We'll simply return this function call. But before returning, just add our dpij and then return the function call. Done. Okay, if characters are same, we are going to just return dp of ij is equals to I plus 1 and j minus 1. So it means I pointer incremented, j pointer decremented. Okay, fine. What if it is already like explored? If dp of I j, initially the dp values, like our 2d array values will be -1. So dp of I and j is not equals to -1. So initially, before starting this problem, before like calling this function fun, what we'll do, we'll just fill the complete dp, this 2d dp, with values as -1. So if it is not -1, it means this dp of ij is already called. So this function call is already happened. So we'll just return that function call. We'll not calculate again, because the dp of ij is already calculated. So dp of ij done. So actually this is a unique part whenever we are solving dp, right? So return dp of ij. Fine. Now let's write the base condition. What can be our base condition? See, I and j, as I have explained for this problem dcb, like we are moving forward. I pointer is moving forward, j pointer is coming back. So whenever they are equal, definitely it's a palindrome. Whenever they cross each other, then it's not a palindrome. Then it's not a, like, sorry, whenever I and j cross each other, it means they have explored the complete string. It means we can write as, whenever I pointer becomes greater than this j pointer, or else whenever they are equal to or greater than j, we have to simply return we have to simply return 0. What does it mean? I mean, there are no possibilities now. There are no possibilities because we have already explored the string. So just return 0. So this is a condition, I greater than or equal to 0. Equal to, because of course it is if I and j are pointing to the same character, it means there is no need to add any new character for that string, for that substring, and we can return 0 from there. Okay, so just let me now call the main from this main function. First of all, let's prepare our dp array. Okay, so dp is equals to new int and str.length length and str.length. So just next, after preparing dp, I said we have to fill it with -1, right? So let me use for each loop int arr from dp arrays dot fill arr and with -1 arr. Okay, now it is filled with -1. Next will be just we'll just return function call, and I pointer will be pointing to the first one and j pointer will be pointing to the last one, that is length minus 1 along with str and dp call. So dp will be called as usual, and let's try to call this stuff, compile this, run, compile and run. Let's see, are there any errors? Okay, it's working fine. Let me just have some random characters. I will just enter randomly and see whether it's working for that. Oh yes, it's working. So let's just submit this stuff. Okay, all the test cases are getting passed, and in this way we are actually able to solve this problem. So it's a dp problem. It's actually a easy problem if you know the dp concept. I mean, it's a very, like, if you know the dp concept, and then you can solve this problem because it is a very basic dp problem. Okay, so that's it for today. So we have completed our day 5 of this 30-day challenge, and we'll be doing for next 25 days. So stay tuned and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Bye bye.